everyone, Alex here from Ornament Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to mark points on your ball using the paper strip method. So if you've been following me for any length of time, if you've seen any of my tutorials, you'll know that I really like calculations and figuring out the math to measure and mark my foam ball for drawing lines. But I know there's a lot of you out there who really dislike the numbers and the math. And if you're that kind of person, then this is the method for you. I hope that it will solve that problem for those of you who are really intimidated by all of that math. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need is a strip of paper about 1/2 centimeter in width. That's about 3/16 of an inch. And of course it'll need to be longer than the circumference of your ball, which is the measurement around the equator of the ball. You'll need to mark the North Pole and the South Pole on your ball. I'm using the factory markings on my ball to help me find these points. Then you'll draw your first mark on the equator. This can be anywhere on the equator. And you'll pin the edge of the paper strip right where you marked that point. Then you will wrap the strip of paper around the equator, following the equator mold line. And when you reach your starting point, you'll fold the paper and match it up with the end, the pinned end, as precisely as you can. You don't want the paper to overlap, but you also don't want to leave any gaps. After you've made your fold, you can remove the paper strip and then cut at the fold. Next, you're going to fold your paper strip in half, and it's important to match the ends up as precisely as you can. After you've folded your paper strip in half, you'll fold it again one more time. After you've folded your paper strip twice, when you open it up, you should see 3 folds or 4 sections of paper. We need to keep folding, so we're going to refold those. And then we're going to fold it again one more time. After your third fold, when you open it up, you will see 7 folds or 8 sections on your paper strip. Now, in order for you to be able to see those folds on camera, I'm going to mark them with my black pen. You can do this if you would like, or you can just look at the folds. It's up to you, whatever is easiest for you to be able to see. Then you're going to pin your paper strip to the ball just as you did before, right? The end right at the first mark. And you'll smooth the paper around, and right at each of those folds is where you are going to draw a mark on the equator of your ball. And that will divide your ball into 8 equal sections. Now for the particular ball that I'm making today, I need to differentiate every other mark on the equator from the others, so I'm making them a little bit longer. then at those marks, at those longer marks on the equator, I need to make midpoints or halfway points. Sometimes I call them halfway points. And that is basically a mark that is midway or halfway between the North Pole and the equator and the South Pole and the equator. And I can use that same paper strip, just turning it 90 degrees at those longer equator marks. I can match them up with the pole and the equator, and I can just draw in my midpoints. And for this, if you want, you can smooth it all the way around and pin it with both ends meeting at the North Pole if you like. Or you can do it like I'm doing it here and just using half of the paper strip. Basically, just choose whichever way is most comfortable for you. Okay, so now that I have the equator marks and the midpoints drawn on my ball, I need to also draw quarter points. And to do this, I'm going to fold my paper strip again, making one more small fold between each of those other folds. In order to help you see the quarter point folds that I've made, I am marking them with a pink marker. And hopefully it'll help you see them and differentiate them from the other points. This is mainly just for the purposes of this video, but if you would like to color code your points, please do so. It will help you visualize things and keep track of what points are what. It's very helpful. So if you have some colored Sharpies, I highly recommend you color code things. Then once again, you're going to place the end at the North Pole and match them up with the points that are already drawn down to the South Pole, and hold your paper strip in place. You can also pin it in place if you like. And then you're going to mark your quarter points with your marker, just like you marked your halfway points and your equator points. Just match them up with those new folds. And now you can see I'm done marking all of the points on my ball. For this particular ball, I don't actually need to draw in any of the lines, the vertical lines. I just need the points. But of course, if your design calls for drawing in those vertical lines, you should go ahead and do that. And you can use this method. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!